Okay, so today to make our paper circuits, these are the items that we're going to need. This is copper adhesive tape, so copper like the metal. You're going to have in the very end about a half a straw. We're going to be using a battery cell, and then we have a small LED light, and then you're going to pick out your Valentine's Star Wars card, of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip the card over and get started. So on the back is basically the outline of how to create your paper circuit. So step one, I think the best thing to do, there should be a little X at the bottom in between a plus and a minus. And that's where our LED light is going to go through. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut or a poke. I can either just poke my scissors through, and be careful, watch your fingers. Just see how I just poked my scissors through like that? That's it. And create a little hole to where your LED light will be able to pass through there later, okay? Now, but we're gonna set the LED light aside still. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to create our negative end of the circuit. So there's a positive and a negative side of every battery. So we'll have a positive and negative side of our circuit. Right here, the negative sign, that's where we're gonna put down our adhesive copper tape. Now there's a backing to that you have to peel off. Do not peel it all off at once, because the tape is really thin, and it will curl up and stick together, and then you won't be able to use it. So you just peel off a little bit at a time. You see how I just peeled a little bit there? I'm gonna press it down all the way to my outline where the negative is, and I'm gonna go all the way to the edge here. Now this, I would say, is the hardest part of the circuit. You're trying to create a corner, but you can't break the tape because it will break the circuit and your switch won't work. So what I do is I bend the tape backwards a little bit, put my finger down and create a little fold like this. And then, so I've created a little fold here in the corner without breaking it. And then I'll just continue on with my circuit like this. Okay, so that part might be a little challenging, so keep working with it. Do you see how I'm just rolling a little bit at a time without taking all the tape off of my paper? Okay, so then when I get to the corner again, I'll bend backwards, kind of put my finger down on there to make a little fold. Make a little fold over, okay? I'll bring my tape here, and I want to end it right where the line drawn on your card is. So take your scissors and cut it there, and that's where we have our negative side of the template. Great, now let's work on our positive side. So we're going to work on the positive side. We'll start there. Remember, peel a little bit of tape only at a time, not the whole strip. Okay, I'll begin here. Whoops. Having trouble. There we go. Okay, remember when you get to the corners, what I like to do is bend it back towards me, and then take my little finger and try to just make a fold. It's okay if it's kind of like a wrinkly fold too. Okay, so I made a fold backwards there, and then I continue to go to the top. Ooh, mine got a little crooked. Okay, and that's okay if it gets a little crooked, as long as you mash it flat on your paper. Okay, I got to the corner, so I'm gonna bend it this way a little bit, make a fold over. Here we go. And then, now this is the part, do not cut here, okay? So on the positive side, we're not gonna cut it yet. This is where the battery is gonna go down. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. There's two sides to every battery, positive and negative sides on the other side, but I'm also gonna put where there's a plus sign on the battery, and make sure that that is lined up over, that's facing the plus side. So it should be sitting on top of the negative tape, and the two plus signs should be facing each other. Now, I'm gonna take this tape and we're gonna make a V shape on top of the battery. So you're gonna press the tape down, but then you need to flip it over because it also needs to be touching the other side of the tape. So I'm going to have the sticky side up on the other side of my V. I'm gonna cut it. So right here, I have the sticky side down on the battery, and on the other side of my V, I have the sticky side facing up. Also for the materials, I forgot, we need a piece of clear tape that we're gonna tape. Need a piece of clear tape that we'll put on top of your V. So remember, sticky side down, sticky side up, and we're gonna put that clear tape to keep that V shape. Excellent, and make sure the battery will be touching down on that negative side. Okay, last thing to do is we are going to add in our light, the LED light. Now, this is important. This is what could cause your circuit not to work if you put the wrong side in. There's two sides. You see how one side, there's a positive side and a negative side. The positive side is a little bit longer. Can y'all notice that there? So this side, the positive side is a little bit longer than the negative side. So we need to make sure the positive side goes over here, the negative side goes over here. So you're going to open it up, make sure the positive side's right, and you're gonna poke the light through the other side to where you should see it, and make sure you pull it out a little bit so you could bend it in whatever direction you want your lightsaber to go. So I'm gonna kind of have her lightsaber going to the side. I don't want it covering her face. So I'm good. Now we are going to make sure we tape down the metal wires right on top of our copper tape. So you should have some extra copper tape on each roll. So I had a little bit extra here, and I'm going to cut a piece off and tape it completely over my positive end of the wire. See right here? I'm going to tape it right on top. And then I'm going to take the other piece of copper tape, and I'm going to tape it right over the negative side on top of the circuit that I've already created. Okay, so make sure all your wires are covered, and then you should have a working circuit. So if I flip this over, make sure what I'm doing in the back is I'm pushing down the battery. This is like an on and off switch. If it's up, it's off, and if you press it down like a button, then it turns your circuit on. Woohoo! So the last thing, if you got a working circuit, the last thing you need to do is add your lightsaber. So you have your straw and you can put it on top. And remember, you'll press down on the battery and there you have it, your card. One thing I also like to do to make it stay in place is I make a little cut right here so I can slide it down onto the light a little better. Okay, so here we go. Now you have your very own Star Wars light up circuit card. So some things, if yours is not working, the number one trouble that I run into that I see kiddos doing is if your light isn't working, make sure your battery is pressed all the way down and in that V shape. And then this is where it will not work if you have your positive and negative mixed up. So make sure the longer side of your light is on the positive side and the shorter side of your light is on the negative side, and everything should work. All right, enjoy your Star Wars card. I hope you had fun.